Yet a talking teddy bear is about to marry his girlfriend,
I now pronounce you teddy bear and wife. May kiss the bear.
proving that Americans don't give a crap about anything.
So I got some big news. Tammy Lynn and I are gonna have a baby.
That's awesome. Wait, how do you guys...
We need a sperm donor.
Welcome everybody to another Native Thoughts review. This time I'm reviewing another summer movie that is kind of a late review by the time whoever watching this or listening to this. But before I get into the review, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can listen to the exact same audio that you are listening to the video on SoundCloud audio format. And if you are listening to this on SoundCloud, you can watch this exact same video on the exact same audio on the video form on YouTube, Native Thoughts. If you want to see how I look, if you want to listen to how I sound like, kind of get that both ways. But another time movie, this time let's get back to review, and it's for Ted 2. Ted 2, Seth MacFarlane, Mark Wahlberg, Amanda Seyfried, or whatever, talking teddy bear, yeah. Okay, here's the thing, I'm not the fan of Ted 1, I thought it was one of those, it's Family Guy. It's Family Guy, it has Family Guy written all over it, it's Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, all that scrambled into one. It's creative at points, but the comedy is one of the movies where it's tried so hard to be a raunchy comedy, a really edgy, ooh, look at this, what's happening, that if, in my opinion, it fails. I know a lot of people who like it, if you like it, good for you. Ted 2 this time is really much, it's a couple years later, it's 3 years later from, I think it's actually 3 years later from the original, in which Ted gets married to his girl, to his wife. He gets married to the girl he meets in the first one, working at the concession store at the supermarket, and pretty much he marries her, and it takes a couple months later where their marriage is on a rocky start, and they decide to just, let's have a kid, maybe it'll save our marriage, and they cannot because something happened in which the wife cannot get babies, but then again the country is the state is not declaring Ted as a human, so there's pretty much just fighting for Ted's rights. Supposedly, that's what the movie supposedly is about. But I feel like there is 5 different fucking plots in this movie. The first plot declares it has so many plot holes and so many set up gags to make a big joke, a big punchline that it falls flat. For example, there's a joke there's a plot line that is for Mark Wahlberg. Something happened to his wife. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's about Mark Wahlberg's love life. It's mostly about his life, where he's at right now, his age. Then you have Ted getting married. Then you have Ted trying to have kids. Then you have Ted fighting for his human rights, which is supposedly the main major plot of the story. And then you have Amanda Seyfried, who's a lawyer, helping Ted to get his right. Then you have Morgan Freeman, who somehow is agreeing with him, but then again, no. And then you have Hashbro in it. I'm not going to give away too much, but then you have a storyline with Hashbro, the company, toy maker. Then you have a storyline with New York Comic Con. And then you have a road trip movie in there. You have more than 5, I presume, plot lines and story to make one almost 2-hour movie that makes no sense. I mean, the only thing that makes sense is really, they make sense. They want to clear up they want to clear up everything that they set up, but most of those plot lines feel like a gag joke that falls flat and doesn't work. I honestly thought this was honestly one of those really weak sequels. And there's a definition of weak sequel that have been made. It's not that entertaining. It tones down on trying to be raunchy and want to be so much of, if you're a fan of these characters, I'm gonna give you something more to build on for these characters. It's a step up from A Million Ways to Die in the West. It is, but for Ted 2, it's really one of those still, like, it's not terrible, but it's lame. I think it's a lame sequel. It's a lame comedy. It reminded me the same as Pitch Perfect 2, in which I was disappointed by this. I'm not excited for this one. I didn't like the first one, but at least I chuckle once every so often. but it was nothing to make me love it or to go back and watch it. It's really supposed to be like it's forgettable. It's really if you're the biggest fan of the first one and you're gonna accept this one, you're gonna accept it. I honestly think I'm honestly my full review is just really that it's lame. It's a lame fucking movie. I mean I want to see a movie to be entertained, even though if I didn't like the first one, make me like the second one better, or let me like the prequels or the spin-offs, the reboot, whatever we are in this day and age, better than the first one or whatever. Um, Unlike Pitch Perfect, which I like the first one, the second one is fucking shitty, and then this one, you have a movie that I did not like, Ted. I didn't get the hype for it, and then you have this one, which it has some funny jokes here and there, but it's nothing to really make it into a movie. You have a lot of Family Guy references, in which this type of references that Seth MacFarlane makes for his shows, for his writing. Nothing really creative. It wants to be sentimental at times if you like these characters, but it really falls flat. Honestly, it's just a lame movie. I think there are people who did like the first one, don't like this one as much. But if you do, I mean, good for you. I would say just watch it at home. It's really one of those where you could just watch it at home. If it's on TV, HBO, whatever, just watch it at home. It's a lame home watch. You know, it's a lame movie to watch at home. That's really have to say. It's not as great. It's not as entertaining. It's not as funny as it could be as you try to step up from the original one. Because I didn't like the original, but it could have been done so much, but I can't explain so much of what the movie's about because I don't even feel like I know what fully the movie, which plot line it wants to take over. And I'm not really mostly, I could do movies without plots and they work, but it's really one of those like, okay, you're giving me so much stories and you make me forget about the jokes, but then you bring them back later on. That just make it like a 2 hour movie. But that's all I really have to say about Ted 2. It's just a lame movie, but if you're a fan, watch it at home. I wouldn't recommend going out to the movie theaters. That's all I really have to say about this review. And Native Thoughts is out with this review. And if you are, like I said, if you are listening to this on SoundCloud, you could watch the same audio on YouTube format, on the video format on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you don't have time to look at the screen, you can listen to this on SoundCloud. Everybody, go check out my early reviews. Go check out my Native Talk podcast that I do on SoundCloud, exclusively for SoundCloud. Subscribe, like. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye, everybody.